Hello, mages of all colors. Welcome back. It's Jimothy the Blue. We're going to jump in to our modern league with Creativity, or Indomitable Creativity. This deck is playing the recently unbanned Faithless Looting. We obviously have already won our first two matches. If you're curious about how to play, I'll give you a little rundown of how to play the deck in the first video, as well as you could watch those first two matches, obviously without the suspense of knowing how they end. But still, made some misplays. Struggled through. I've faced a weird Fleshraker combo deck. I think Canister's been playing it lately. If you don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He streams and then posts his streams to YouTube, I believe. Longtime player of Prison and Artifact Strategies, came up with a build. The other deck we faced was it Affinity, or I thought that was Affinity? I forget. Dr. Wheezy was Elves. That's right. In game two, he got us with a pretty fast roll, but obviously with all our 1 mana interaction as well as red and 6 are just all really good against him. This hand is not keepable. It does have 3 of a kind, great in poker or something, but if one of any of these cards was a Faithless Looting, I probably would keep, because then we could fetch Surveil, turn 2 looting to make sure we hit our second land, and then maybe use that for a Thoughtseize if we felt like we needed to, or we could, if we wanted to, fetch Shock and play looting first turn and try to get our turn 2 run in 6. And once you have run in 6, right, you make all your land drops because we have a fetch land. So this hand's a lot more keepable. We're going to get rid of the Bitter Reunion since we already have lootings. And obviously serves a role that looting doesn't, but with a 2-land hand, don't know that we will be able to set up for creativity, but we'll see what our opponent's doing and obviously make informed decisions about what we want to be doing. We may turn 1 looting if we feel like we need to find answers to what they're doing fast. We may just fetch a Surveil land and be fine with looting on turn 2. We also obviously can dig for the turn 1. If we dig turn 1, we can maybe get it's an interesting start. Tamio, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of different decks that are playing Tamio. Mox Hammer, Mox Opal decks like Tamio, control decks like Tamio. The fetch basic island, it doesn't really tell us a lot either. How aggressive do I want to be? I think we're gonna Surveil instead of dig for aggressive persist. A lot of Tamio builds are probably playing things like Force and Negation, so I don't know that I want to try to set up for a persist that might just get countered and otherwise kind of not ruin my hand, but make my hand worse ongoing. Yeah, this might be just a twin list. Tamio is fine in twin, that makes sense. Look at that. It's a twin list. Okay. That Thoughtseize hand would have been nice. We want to get the black source because we already have a green one. We don't need a third copy of looting. Hit the Archon. Which is nice. We want to loot this Archon away. Again, we don't need the 4th copy of looting either. Our deck's like, you like Faithless Looting, right? You like it? You like it? You want Faithless Looting? More Faithless Looting, right? You just want all day Faithless Looting. With them putting a twin in the graveyard, it makes it seem like maybe they're just trying to hit land drops here. They miss land drop. That's great for us. So let's hope they don't have force. If they do, oh, sorry, I need to make black mana. Okay, no force is obviously good for us. Them not having a third land means that it will be pretty hard for them to win, even with the combo out of this slot. Archons close the game very quickly. Ooh, even hit on that draw there, which is nice. Kind of the perfect land. I don't think we need a fetch now that we have Dwarven Mind for creativity next turn. Put that in the graveyard. They obviously discarded Bolt because it can't enter our Archon. Do they have something that can? They dug for a land. So I think they're trying to set up for a twin win. We want to not let that happen, obviously. So we'll play the mine. We'll go ahead and attack and maybe let them think we drew a creativity, even though we're already holding it. Spell snare's gone. Oh, go to second main. They could have drawn a force, right, in their last two draws, but okay. They've had enough. The second Archon did it in for them. Is Yellowstone worth it? We're assuming they're going to be on Deceiver Exarch, not Pestermite, so no. Yeah, not really worth playing. Meltdown's not worth playing. I don't think we want Terastodon. There's some instances where this might be better than Archon, but on average, no. Tamio has flying, right? But I guess we bring this in. It does answer. We have 3 answers to a Splinter Twin that's resolved. We want our Veils. Do we want to bring in a Surgical? We could Surgical a Twin and not have to worry about that at all, but no, I don't think so. We'll cut our bolts because we need pushes, right, as removal, and we'll cut the bitter reunions, I think. It's more of a grinding matchup where, you know, the like haste isn't usually going to be the difference between a win or loss. Do I want to looting? I don't think so. I think we want to stay up on looting. We are bringing in 2 lands. Maybe we cut one of our lands. We're not really looking to use these as lands most of the time. Do I want 3 Besage of Hoonders? Maybe I only want 2. Yeah, let's do that. And again, the patchwork formation is like a flexible thing where it's like we could keep it in our hand and hold up and try to hold it up as an answer to a twin, right? But we also can just draw a card and make a food token. And then we might use it to take out a Tamio. I'm going to keep. This is a good hand. Our lands are a little awkward because right now we have to choose between, do we want to turn 2 Wren, which I don't think we're going to go for unless we draw a fetch. Otherwise, I think we're just going to go double Thoughtseize. I think we're fine with whatever they cast on turn 2 on average, and so I'd rather just set up for like double Thoughtseize next turn. In fact, we might shock in first and play the Thoughtseize off this land, because if they do want to counter our Thoughtseize, we'll Veil of Summer them. Thunder Trap. I used to play you. What did he... Was it all just lands and creatures? That's awkward. I don't think he's got a force negation or Thoughtseize, and if he does, that's a win for us, so... We'll lead on this, see what we see, and decide if we want to try to push this for some reason, or... He does have force, counterspell, counterspell. Interesting. I think we just take both counterspells this turn. It leaves him with the force. Maybe I take force, counterspell. I don't want to leave him with the free spell that interacts with our sorcery speed win cons. So yeah, we'll do that. I do think it's worth doing all this damage to ourselves here. We do leave him for a line with... We leave him with a line towards the combo. But he can't do that and counterspell us, so... I don't know why he's Thunder Trapping. They can't grab lands. Like, he's missing lands. Oh, he got a Flare. Well, that's good for him. That's what I needed. Perfect. We'll do this, and if he decides to Flare, we kind of hope he decides to Flare, and we'll Veil. And then we'll just go ahead and pick up our Bloodstained Mire. We're going to have to shock in. I mean, we're doing a lot of damage to ourselves, but I think we're trading pretty advantageously, and we're setting up for creativity next turn, where he has to leave up Counterspell. Obviously, he has one unknown card, but that's fine. So turn our Veil into a Cryptic Command. Perfect. So if he leaves up counterspell, maybe I'll just go like push and make land drops. I don't know. We might looting too, I guess. He did not leave up counterspell. He played Blood Moon. We did not expect that. I guess I should have expected that. But I didn't. Shoot. We don't even play basic swamp. We don't really have a way to play around this, so it is what it is. This makes our run in 6 a little worse. And because we can't cast these persist, I'm gonna go ahead and looting. Can't cast anything, jeez. I can creativity this, but that would help him. We'll get rid of one land because we want to pick it up with the Wren in 6 and get rid of a persist. We're not likely to use it anytime soon. Oh, I played that other land. Sorry. Do I want to flashback the looting? Yeah. Lands for days. Okay. I guess I'll keep my spells. I'm trying to think of why I would want spells over lands or vice versa. Interesting. Now I can hold up counterspell and just beat us down, I guess. That's what he should do. Don't spend your mana. When you're the control deck and you're ahead, I guess that's fine to double up on it, but that lets him kill me faster. Hmm. Two targets in here. I mean, I could get rid of Magus. I need 2 more turns with this. He does 3 damage a turn. I might get a spin into what? Deceiver Exarchs, maybe Snapcasters. It's hard to tell. Interesting. Like I said, we can't like fetch a basic swamp or basic what's it called? Forest anyway. So we can't really afford to play around it. If I go to cast this, he's just gonna counterspell it. Guess I'll try anyway. He might let it resolve. Be like, hey, you're gonna give me a free Exarch. Maybe it's better to just target the Magus. Yeah, I figured we just hit the counterspell. Cool. Well, I can cast it with Retrace next turn if he doesn't hit our Wren in 6. Don't really have a reason to keep plussing her. So I can try to at least kill the Magus. I have to and hope that... Wow. It's a lot of lands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, so more than half my cards have been lands. It's not the ratio we're playing in this deck. Just to be clear. I guess we'll do this. I think just the 1, 2. Let's hope. What does it hit? Discard a land. Wish I could hit this emblem and go get an Archon. I don't know what this could hit where we're not already dead. So, it is what it is. We're just dead. The moons are good against us. This is what we needed. Why couldn't we have drawn you instead of like 6 lands in a row? And even our lootings didn't save us. That's where like the Terrestodon would be worth it. Maybe I do want Elishnorn because of the mages. Hmm. So with mages, we're definitely bringing in some number of bolt. Want at least one Terrestodon. Do we want both? Probably. Is it just like that? Do I want this? Do I want this? Hmm. I want to say threat heavy, 50% chance of one or the other. Let's try it like that. Can make a Terrestodon early, but I don't think that's definitely not as good as a. We don't have a black source. That's not as good as an Archon. I think we're mulling that hand. The land is just too bad. I'll keep a Seiju is nice. We can try to leave it up so that we have it in response. I'll lead on the proving grounds here because we're on the play. We kind of have a turn to do so. I don't think they play any accelerants, so they have a turn 3 is the earliest they're going to be playing a moon. So we have turn 2 where we can cast looting, I think. Let's see what we can see. We do just have like a creativity setup. Actually, no, we're going to do this. Okay. Double Force, Snap, Splinter Twin, Lorien, Thunder Trap. One land. They can Lorien for another. Snapcaster is the most value in their hand. Thunder Trap's also good value. Double Force makes it hard to ever resolve the creativity. I also could just take the twin, and then we're not really worried about dying anytime soon. That's hard. I think because I have the Beseiju, I'm not taking twin. I think I'll take one of the forces. Almost passed the turn. We'll get the commercial districts. So we have more green sources for Beseiju. Thunder Trap. Hits Flare. A great combo. Don't think we need a Blood Crypt here. Another looting. Let's start on looting, and then we're going to leave our land up in case we need to. A second looting or a land. We'll put this. We can flash it back if we need to. This is obviously a way to interact with Moon or Splinter Twin that they can't counter. So we're going to see the Lorien get cycled, island cycled. Yeah. Okay, so we know they have a flare and a force. Hmm. A lot of lands. We're really good at having our lands in our top 20 cards, it looks like. The majority of them. I think we'll jam the fable, see if they're willing to counter it. If they are, what are they gonna sack this, or are they gonna lose a card in their hand? Is the main question. This does leave us a little open to a moon, but I don't think they're gonna do it where they only have one basic. Didn't get a basic with Lorien. They can't just win with Twin right now. So it feels like a more grindy matchup, and this is great in a grindy matchup. Alright, you got a counter an opponent. Excuse me. Can you snap? Use the. I don't think you can use the. What's it called? Alternate casting costs for these cards when you snap. Could be wrong. Opponent really thinking about this one. They do decide to flare. That's what I thought they would do. I mean, they're sitting pretty. They got another land drop. They got a Snapcaster now. They don't have enough to actually snap anything back. I guess I got a Dwarven Mine here. We know they have the Force and they can just cast it. They don't even have to lose a card in hand. Oh man, I wish I could just jam this creativity. It's never gonna happen. Suppose we have to just jam it. If we do nothing, or we like just flashback looting and they let it resolve, they could have an Exarch and they could just win. And or they just get to activate Clue and we let them just draw a card. So by like playing our spell, we hope that this is their last counter spell. I can't, not really playing around anything by not. Oh, well, actually, I want to leave one of the dwarfs. That's what I want. So what am I playing around? Well, by only targeting one dwarf, I'll have another dwarf in case I draw a second creativity. Also might hit Terrestodon, which would be a little awkward here where we're down on life and don't have other blockers for it. It feels like they might have just sideboarded out their moons. So they got me with it game 2. I've done that often where it's like, got you with moon, now game 3, I'm not going to play it at all. Because it's kind of a do-nothing card. They exiled the Snapcaster. That's surprising. Okay. So now we only know about Twin specifically, and if they have their other one card happens to be a Deceiver Exarch, we're just dead. Right? I'm not going to swing into it. I think it's worth getting the 1 damage in to risk. It is a Deceiver Exarch? Jeez. Yeah. Well, Trash Boat 100 drew very well. We did not. We needed to hit like a second thought seize that game. Or have our looting. Yeah, we cast looting twice, right? Didn't draw into anything. It's 2 games in a row we were pretty flooded, but I mean I kept a land heavier hand. But you also don't want to go, I don't know. You don't want to mold a 4 or 5 against a counterspell heavy deck where it's like you need to have answers to their threats as well as answers to their counterspells, or at least force them to waste them eventually. I mean, that game where we had the Wren, if we had drawn any, one action spell, if we had gotten that Fable earlier or something, I think it would have been a very different game. But as it was, we did not. Going into match 4, currently 2-1. Still in the winner's bracket. Longer queue for almost 1,500 active players. Before the unbans, it was around 600. So 3 times as many people playing leagues, which is nice. DB Jarvis U. We'll take the play. I'm gonna keep Ren 6 is such a value engine, and double lightning bolt is good against quite a few decks where we can deal with a couple threats. Obviously, if they end up being like that colorless combo deck or something. I'm glad we put another land in the graveyard. We already have 3, 2 of them are fetches, and we have a Wren, so we're not really in danger of not being able to hit our land drops. Surveilling the other surveil land away feels a little meh, but no 0-drops. If they played a 0-drop, we would have killed it just to keep their artifact count as low as possible. I suppose we were going to fetch this land anyway, so our deck was just like, why not just have it? Because we did surveil that land there, we get the plus still for value. That was a really weird animation. I don't know if that captured in the recording, but it actually like turned the card sideways in the middle of the screen there. That was weird. I'm going to try to watch that back. Come on, deck. What do we want? We can just draw creativity is fine, or looting into an Archon. Opponent seems to maybe have kept a clunkier hand with a lot of their payoffs and not a lot of their cheap stuff. Oh, it's a Broodscale list. Okay. We definitely like having bolts against Broodscale. And we drew the creativity. What a deal. I'm not going to do Commercial District because I want to be able to pick something up with my Wren in 6. So I'm going to fetch. Can we do this? I think we can just do this. Yeah, because I can still hold up a bolt. I'll bolt this now, hold up a bolt, plus Wren, and then pass the turn. And next turn we get to fetch a dwarf, make a Archon, and hope that's good enough. I assume this is going to get the Blood Chief Blade. If they have maybe they don't have another Broodscale and they're just going to go for like a value card, but I assume that's what it's going to get. Slower start from our opponent. They definitely have starts where they go faster. I like the forest though. It's a fun one with the little hut in the back there. Resisting the urge to chew gum for your benefit. They got the blade. They're still short an artifact to turn on Opal. They have another Broodscale. They can play it. They can't equip it. It feels good to kill one of these early. What you doing there, Jarvis? You? They are just eating through clock here. Oh, they turned on their Mox Opal. They figured it out. A walking ballista for 2. Okay. How about no? I guess this is a little aggressive because we can just. Oh no, we need to do this so that they can't just hit our dwarf. Or no, I get priority. So I guess like our Archon would have killed this anyway. But we also could have minused Wren on it. Might have been a waste of a bolt. I might regret that later. Yeah, it automatically used all the triggers all the time, huh? Oh, he's a 6/6. I keep using persist and making him a 5/5, so it's nice to see him as a 6/6. See what he discards can give us an idea of what their hand is. And we'll go ahead and pick up the land again, because why not? Yeah, I should have kept the bolt. Now I think about it, but here's what it is. That's okay. Life goes on. Hopefully we can kill them. Our hand is just 5 lands and a persist. I guess we're only 2 turns away from being able to just retrace creativity. We could do like 3 turns in a row of creativities with our dwarven mines. I guess we could just pay X's to 2 turns. Looting's a good draw. Opponent just played a land. That's a weird play. I don't think I need to get the value off the wren. Oh, let's just draw a card first before we make any decisions. Does our deck only play lands? Hey, I'm glad I didn't make my land drop before combat. It's something to note when you have an Archon in play. Go through combat before you make your decisions. Can make 1 dude. We're gonna go like this. I don't know how many copies he plays of the blade, but I think it's worth getting rid of. I think he's more likely to have this than another one of these. And this could flip into a ballista that just dies, so. Do this, and then just minus wren on him, I guess. Also put them down to only 1 card in hand. Oh, he's responding. Is this a Kozilek's command? Is that what you are doing? Yeah, makes sense. Type top your mocks too. It is a Kozilek's command. Did he hit my token? Yeah. Haha. Do this just because. Played our land. Go to the end of the turn. I guess there might be some precedent for just. Oh no, because this just kills him next turn. So I'm just trying to keep him off being able to do too many things in a turn. Okay. Like I don't know how he would have to have. I don't think he had enough to do it, but maybe there's a way that I didn't notice. Surgicals maybe. Meltdowns for sure. Any Mox Opal deck. Let's get against this. I think this just turns off his whole. This is so good against the tokens and stuff too. Go down 1 cruelty. It does weaken our persist plan to have Elish Norn in. Trim reunions because they're a little clunky. I want to keep in all my instant speed interaction. I want to keep in all my hand hate. Artifact hate. Maybe surgical is too cute. I'll keep him in. Trim 1 persist. Or another fable. Trim a persist. Fable is not dead in our hand like persist is, although persist has a higher like ceiling. It has a lower floor. Yeah, if this hand just had like a Thoughtseize, I'd feel a lot better. But I don't think we're getting rid of this hand. We do have the instant speed interaction. We have Wren 6 to make sure we just get to churn through our land drops. We can fetch a Surveil land turn 1, I think, because unless he's set up where he could. Yeah, I think we're fine. I guess we don't have to decide until we see. But if he somehow is setting up for the win, we can bolt or push it in response. If not, we will just go get a Surveil land. Yep, drum. It's fine. Hopefully we draw a meltdown. Hammer Might, fine. Does that hit anything in our deck? We definitely don't have any artifacts. It can hit the. What is it called? The thing. Fable that we trimmed on. So they get off of stirrings. Decide if we want to just kill this Might to slow down the Springleaf Drum more than anything. I think we'll probably just go Surveil. Ooh, does he have it? He could have it on turn 3. And we will wait and kill it in response. I'll get the. We already have black. The green one because we have wren in 6. I'll draw another bolt. Okay. I think we're not playing wren, we're holding up our interaction. I think I'm just going to play this tapped and make it look like we're kind of taking the turn off. But I assume he just needs a land drop, right? And then he has, oh no, he needs one more. If he has like land drop, Mox Opal, he can go basking, equip, right? And then adapt. Assume he's playing this. And then we're just going to surgical it right away. Goes to equip, we're going to say, no thank you. In response to the trigger. We'll take the one in your hand as well. Perfect. Now they kind of have to beat us the old-fashioned way. I'm taking a quick screenshot here, and I'm going to move off to the side so we can get along with the gameplay. I'll kind of look through what their list has. He has Flesh Rakers, which obviously can kill us pretty quick, especially with the double Causeless Command. And a full playset of Walking Bull. So he's playing Stonebrain against us. Good to know. Yeah, I think we're going to just go Wren minus. Because this just is like all value for us here. Turns off their Springleaf Drum, which makes their Causeless commands smaller. Play this tapped because I'm not worried about dying next turn. I don't think there's any possible draw that does that. And now he has to draw a land before he can Flash Raker, and he can't cast his Causeless commands. So we're in pretty good shape. We just need to draw Creativity to lock it up. I think I'll Dwarven mine. We'll just start beating down here, I think. Because I have another one in hand. Oh, I didn't think I had one in the graveyard already. Maybe that's aggressive. Maybe I should just got the Surveil land and try to draw into action, but I am technically thinning the deck. Someday I won't draw all lands. It won't be today, but someday I won't draw all lands. So now he's down to 2 stirrings left in the deck. He got a temple. He still has 3 more of those. That makes his causal commands live. For sure. Do I want to bolt him? No. We're not really winning without getting one of our big creatures out here. Let's get a Surveil land here. Wish I had a way to fetch up my cycling land and just cycle it, because I just want to draw more cards. I guess we will keep this. Will we? I mean, the discard 2, draw 2 is nice. But it's so slow. They're going to be Kozilek's commanding. I guess we'll keep it. It's better than just drawing more lands, which is what it feels like is going to happen if I do anything else. I'll swing, because even if he, like, makes tokens, it's like, well... I think we save the push and the bolt for the Flesh Rakers, right? I'm not going to attack his tokens aggressively. I thought I muted this. Mute someone on Discord? Does it not allow them to send me stuff? I don't know. I think the sounds come through on here. Sorry. I made a saga. Okay. Okay, I think we're keeping our interaction. We'll play this out. Also increases our clock, I guess. better than nothing. I'm gonna run out of fetchable sources here soon, right? We'll get this for now. I'll just start hitting with the Wren and 6 as well to just speed stuff up. We have 3, so it's a 7-turn clock with nothing else. The bolt makes it a 6-turn clock. If I start minusing on Wren, though, it's only a 5-turn clock plus this. Doesn't make it 4. Unfortunately, can't do anything with this. Scrying, then drawing. Whatever, I'm just going to quit Discord for now. So he's finally used... Oh, I didn't mean to dismissal. Whatever. Cover that. We saw 1 saga. He scryed 1 top, 2 bottom, so he likes a card and drew it. I assume it's a Fleshmaker. Seems like his best card right now. This will become a threat, but luckily Push just answers that. Well, it answers one of them. It doesn't answer the entire saga. White. Oh, he's equipping. I mean, I guess fine. I don't know. Also, would be nice to just draw one of my meltdowns, wouldn't it? Cast another one. Is that what he kept? Blade of the Blood Chiefs? Equip here, yep, sure. Make your mana. Make this thing big. Oh, I should have kept up my black mana. That was a mistake. But it is what it is. I mean, that made sense, kind of, but... Oh, he has a Stone Brain. What is he gonna name? Archon? Seems fair. Makes my persist dead, but my Indomitables can still hit the, what's it called? Elish Norn, which would lock this game up completely. Yeah, Archon. That's fair. Weird matchup. Okay, let's see what we draw, and then we're gonna discard some lands. Yes, please. Oh, good, we finally got something. Do we want to just kill these? I think we'll wait for the saga to melt down. Because we no longer can hit an Archon, I'm not super interested in using the looting aggressively. Yeah. I think we'll just make another dwarf and minus here. Go to combat, attack. Don't really care about our treasure token, but sure. Yeah. We're just gonna try to kill him as fast as possible. This will become a 2/2. We can't swing with it next turn, but then we'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a turn, so we can kill him in 2 turns. Yeah, so they make the construct. They get something. They're probably gonna blood chief it up and make it big and beefy. What else they got? They went and got a Mox Opal. Makes sense. Use the Stone Brain. I mean, this thing's gonna be big, but we are just gonna push it off a big cliff. You're not gonna equip it with anything? Okay, well, since we're good. Oh no, we're just gonna meltdown it. Never mind. I'm saving my push. Yep, become a little creature, please. Wow, I am really good at drawing lands. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands. I guess that's half. We're almost through half the deck, so it's not that bad. I just like complaining like most Magic players. Meltdown. X is 1. Thank you. Let's get rid of all that nonsense. Leave you with just 3 lands. Yep. We did it. That was a pretty... It's like an easy 2-0, but it just took forever. The matches are pretty grindy there, but we're pretty good into combo decks. Felt bad against Trash Boat. I'm debating whether we're like supposed to thought seize the Thunder Traps because they can find flares and other counter magic instead of taking the counter spell, but it's like we know the counter spell is going to be good, and we saw that like a Thunder Trap miss sometimes, so I don't know. I'm definitely willing to accept I didn't play that matchup optimally, but I think I played it pretty well. And it's probably a pretty close matchup on average. I do think, because it's hard to say, I don't think we necessarily have the upper hand in that matchup as I think about it conceptually in my head. If I'm playing Twin, Creativity is probably the kind of deck I want to see. I don't like seeing the Thought Seizes, but I can beat Persistent and Creativity with like sorcery speed, non-creature combo is like that's your sweet spot because Force is so strong in that matchup. So yeah, it's probably slightly favors them. This hand is slow but like effective. Their name's Beaumont Courier, and if they're playing any aggressive red deck, this hand is not great. I'm gonna mull. This hand is a lot more reasonable. A wren is actually not very good in this hand. But I think I'm gonna cut the fable because it's just so slow. We're fine top decking it at some point, but let's keep spells that we can cast and obviously our creativity. Ideally, we draw 1 fetch and then like our wren can set up our creativity. Well, doesn't seem like I'm on a red list or something. Do I want to lose 4 life to Thoughtseize this turn? I think so. I mean, we are playing Thoughtseize. This is a thing we do, right? Green Sun Zenith. Oh, I just saw this. This is the canister list, right? Shoot, I want to pull that up now. It was a YouTube video called Canister Breaks Monitored. I just want to look at the list. I think we're taking Green Sun Zenith basically 100% of the time, but I want to pull it up because I was just watching it.
Count that box.
That's what we want.
Count that box.
Okay. So the deck wins with Venerated Rotpriest. Ground Rift is like the penultimate spell where you get to target it a bunch, but then it can play things like Gut Shot, targeting it, hold priority, mutagenic oath, and safekeeping it in response to gut shots, or gather courage. It can cast itself, like it can tap to cast. So it's just trying to get a Rot Priest into play and then target it and kill you with the toxic triggers. So, Pact can still get him, but the Green Sun can get him without having to win that turn. So we'll take that one. Definitely feel good about losing 4 life to take that because he would be able to use it next turn to go get him, and then then he could march. Once you march it, you double the amount of Rot Priests, and then you can go nuts. So ideally, we get another Thoughtseize. Honestly, well, our life total really doesn't matter. They're trying to kill us with toxic triggers. Well, plus with no targets, the Thought Priest I believe is the 2/2, right? 1/2, unfortunately. Can't kill him with a Ren and 6, but I guess we could if we draw creativity or sorry, if we draw a Archon, we could set up for persist on turn 4. We also can just draw a fetch land and set up for creativity on turn 4. So Hopefully we get those. He got one. Just top decked it. That's so rude. So we saw this and this. His last two cards are Grove and Some Respect. At least doesn't have anything to target them. Okay, that's fine. I guess I can make him think I'm keeping up something, but I'm not. I guess I could draw. Yeah. This is too late. I don't think Summoner's Pact really does anything for him. He can get a Spell Skite, I get. No, he can't. It has to get green. So it just gets another one, which more of them doesn't really do a lot. I guess it. Yeah. I don't think it's really doing anything to Thoughtseize him right now. Oh, the March even gives you a Toxin. Yeah, makes sense. It's a well built deck. Not surprised. Canister, like I recommended his channel. Recommend him as a person. He's a cool dude. I don't know where he's from. It's not America though, or at least he speaks with an accent, so I assume not. That might be very American ignorant of me to say, but it is what it is. What has he got? Am I dead? I could be dead. He's got a mutagenic, and then he's gonna he what? How did he get rid of? Oh, he exiled it to March. So I was wrong about his hand. I should have thought seized him. Oh well. I think we can do this, right? Yes, we can. We can do this. Doesn't help with the toxic triggers, but we are going to kill both of these. Um, that's the beauty of Bitter Reunion right there. Still have yet to see a fetch land. It's the one game where we're not flooding out. He's dead to this next turn, so I don't need a minus on him. So I'll just plus pass the turn. Don't think there's any one card he could draw that wins at this point, because even if he gets another Rotpriest, he doesn't have any way to target it. So we still got there. They drew very well. We still got there. I definitely want this because it turns off his combo. We'll trim one of these. This can't target it. It doesn't have a flying. Let's look at what he was playing in the sideboard. Veil Summers, yep. Endurances, Force Leyline. So he might bring in Leyline. I mean, he has a full, like, 8 plus 3. 11 cards he could bring in against us. We'll wait and see. If we see the ley lines, maybe we trim Thoughtseizes, but I don't think we can afford to just trim them. Besaju doesn't affect. We just want more removal for creatures. We don't have more removal for creatures in our sideboard. I don't think. I guess we surgical. I guess surgical could get him right. Without Rotpriest, he doesn't. He can also endurance himself in response to surgical, so we have to watch out for that. But let's trim on fables. They're just kind of our slowest card right now, and obviously, like we saw, Bitter Reunion can be very powerful in a matchup where we care about creatures living. Interesting, fun. It's funny that I saw this morning. Otherwise, I would have no idea what was happening, but I recognized it right away. I've never seen the Green March in any other deck. I think we keep. We have a 1 mana removal spell, although I don't know. Elish Norn is so clunky. No way to get her into play. I guess we can just loot her away. Is 1 removal spell enough? We're fairly likely to have a turn 4 creativity with this hand. No, I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, I was hoping to see this, but now I have no black source. Shoot. I have to mulligan. Mulligan again. We kind of just have to keep our 5s. This, our life total doesn't really matter. We'll just keep the 2 fetch lands because we have Wren and 6. Unfortunate. Hopefully they have a ley line and we didn't keep a Thoughtseize hand. Hey, they wasted a card at least. Did they start with 7? Yeah, they probably kept 4 that. We'll do this and pass. We'll hold it up. If they don't play a Rotpriest, we will surveil. I guess it doesn't really matter which surveil, but I'll probably start with the green. Just like they did. We, of course, cut 2 fables and we drew one of them. It just is what it is, you know? Cutting mutagenic, interesting. So they need a Rotpriest maybe? Or they're trying to dig for the storm card? Wild Cantor. Do we want to bolt that? No, we're going to Wren and 6 that. Oh, I should probably wait. They can still play land and make up a turn. This was not done well, but it is what it is. If they go land, the Rot Piece costs 2, right? No, it costs 1. Jeez, interesting combo. Okay, not punished for my misplay at least. We drew this, so we'll just do this. We'll go green and red. This leaves us a little open next turn, but we're killing this. We're at least setting them back a little bit on mana, which hopefully means we're not just dead. It might be better just to hold up Bolt at all times, but it's hard because like they play mutagenics and all the protection spells. So it's like if they have mana, safekeeping, gather courage, and mutagenic can all, and then this is instant speed too. So it's like they have so many ways to. Yeah, they have 1 mana open. I mean, I think we can't afford not to try and bolt it. Oh, that still kills us. Who knew? I knew. Yep, they got the thing. This isn't going to be good. Gather courage. Okay. Okay, that's not my favorite, but it is what it is. Do I want another green? I'll get another black for now. We're at a Bitter Reunion discarding the Fable just because we're trying to draw a card, use our mana as efficiently as possible, and we don't have anything else to do in our hand. Where were you before? Okay, so we could be dead this turn. I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. Spell, Storm would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus attack. 9, yeah, 8 would be lethal. Um, they exiled a March. They had another March. So now they have 3 of them out there. Yikes. What? What happened? My opponent. Did they already leave? 2 games? What did I miss? Did he cast Pact? What happened? Cast Pact, got a Rotpriest, cast a Rotpriest. Didn't have lethal, I guess. Realized that he cast the Pact and conceded. Okay. Um, I mean, if he hadn't packed and just marched that turn, I think we were in a rough place. We had to basically draw. I mean, I'm trying to draw cards to see. We had to draw a creativity. Oh, creativity isn't even good. I forgot Leyline stops Archon. So we got to hope our creativity hit Elishnorn and then we'd be fine. But who didn't? We just. I don't know. We just had a bolt, but then we take a poison counter from it. So, anyways, got the win there. So 4-1. The deck's very good. Surprise, surprise. If you didn't already know. Um, I'll give some closing thoughts on the build. I don't feel like the sideboard is figured out, but part of that might be, the meta isn't fully figured out yet, so that's fair. Um, yeah. I'm really not sold on Terrestodon, but I don't know that there's a better like maybe we could play Sierra's Emissary. Um, I didn't feel necessarily like we needed the Inquisitions. I know some people are a big fan of that main. So you and creatures you control have protection from the choice of top. It's like if I was playing this, it is a persist target, even though it looks like it's a legendary, and could turn off, that Rotpriest combo just as well as Elish Norn. Against Affinity, I think if you name Artifact, I'm trying to think if they have like non-Artifact. It's like only Urza can hit you or Tamio. Like it doesn't. It turns off. Like there's a lot of decks that are all in on one type. It's obviously not good against. Well, I mean, it's fine against other creativity decks. Even you just name Archon or name creature, and Archon can't target you, can't damage you. What are they gonna win with? Wren and 6 looping bolts, I guess. You have to get Wren and 6 retrace and loop bolt is the only way to win against the Sarah's Embassy. So this hasn't been played in a long time. People were trying it back in the day, but I think it might be worth running a couple of these. Um, Terrestodon is kind of a necessary evil. Like in that matchup, you would need it against those ley lines. But I might want to look into like, is there another creature? Oh, the one that exiles that they used to play in Legacy for I swear the amount of times that I misspell permanent. Oh, what is it? Oracle. Anyways, I'm gonna remember. It's like 4 white, 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 black, 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 and it exiles any permanent when it comes into play, and it's a persist target. And I think I like that better than like giving them things. Um, but yeah. So as far as other stuff, I think surgical. I wanted to play surgical plus turn the earth as my graveyard hate. I think I still like this. Maybe not into this exact split. Over Leyline, even though I know this deck can actually cast Leyline. Um, Ashen Rider, that's the name of it. I don't think I have any on online, but I'm sure it's not very expensive right now. I think Ashen Riders will be worth it. No, it's 0.009 cents for a card. So playset is less than zero point 0.1 tickets. So yeah, maybe an Ashen Riders plus Sarah emissaries instead of the Terrestrions. The Patchwork Formation, I mean, obviously I didn't bring it in that much, but we would have against that deck against Leyline, right? Um, I like that. I like the Veils. I like the Meltdowns. This is a great card in Modern right now. Lots of Mox Opal decks. So it's like I think these 6 have some amount of creatures. Maybe only one Beseiju because we're playing the Meltdowns and this one, and then the Patchwork. Cut that. Maybe we cut the Elish Norn if we're going in on Sarah Emissaries. These 2 are Ashen Riders. I think I go like that going forward. I like the 4 Thoughtseize. 3-3 split here. I'm trying to think. There were instances, right, where push was better than bolt or bolt was better than push. The deck does feel a little weak to Blood Moon, but Ashen Rider would help us with that just as much as Terrestodon, I think. There'd obviously be the one instance there where it was like Terrestodon couldn't hit the Magus of the Moon, Magus of the Moon, and Bolt could, and Ashen Rider could hit the Magus, but it couldn't hit the Magus plus Blood Moon, but neither could Terrestodon. So it's like if the only thing Terrestodon's better against is like double Blood Moon or Blood Moon plus Leyline, and Ashen would only hit one of those. But it is also a 5/5 flyer, and when it leaves the battlefield, no, yeah, or dies. If they kill it with something that isn't exile, which is pretty unlikely, There's not a lot of things that can kill a 5/5 flyer that aren't just like Solitude or Path to Exile or March, the White March or something. But if they happen to like make their own Archon, Ashen Lighter leaves and can exile their Archon, which is very relevant. So those are my thoughts. These the big white creatures that are also persist targets, I think, are better than playing a legendary creature and better than the Terrestodon. Although it's a cool card, I don't think the elephant. I just don't like it. When it was played against us, we were like, great. So don't like that. But I mean, as you saw, I went 4-1. I made quite a few mistakes. The deck is very strong. I liked Bitter Reunion. I think this is a pretty strong shell. I think if you want some flex, you could cut these two, cut maybe the fourth Thoughtseize or third push, third bolt. You could add in some Inquisitions. You could add in the four. I saw Formation main. What was the other cards I saw main that you could give a try if they're more your style? Bitter Triumph, right? The one in a black that's like remove a creature or planeswalker. You can either lose 3 life or discard a card for it. That is a great, sub for Bitter Reunion. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Give me a like, a sub, comment, let me know, and have a great day. Get my Ashen Riders.